Well, now, without further ado, allow me on this video to share with you 3 industries where the future millionaires will actually come from. Well, guess what? I was actually reading, that was WSJ, that is Wall Street Journal. I was actually reading something called These Our Days here in Kenya. We also have some other magazine and what have you. I was actually going through and I realized one thing. And of course, even before you even read all those newspapers and what have you, you can just actually close your eyes and try to figure out what exactly is going on in the country or whatever the place that you're coming from. And there's some of the industries are actually promising right now as we speak. And by the way, don't left behind as far as this thing is concerned. Jump yourself into the bandwagon and actually get yourself into the thing. And guess what? This is Good Joseph speaking, and at all the time, I do post a video each and every time. And if you don't want to miss any good of my videos, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure that you give me the like and you leave a comment on the comment section, and go ahead and share the video if you're in a position to. Share to your girlfriend, share to your boyfriend and your family members. Let's get to the business now. Here we are. What are these 3 industries that are promising in future and they're gonna make some cash? Number 1, no doubt, technology. Technology. Okay, technology here stretches from the AI, that is the artificial intelligence. There is a lot of debate as we speak right now. Most of the thing has been taken over by the AI and what have you. And by the way, did you know that you can actually make money with AI, artificial intelligence? And we have a couple of them. By the way, did you know you can even open a YouTube channel whereby you don't have to show your face? You can actually go there, instruct an AI to make a video for you, and you can still choose the accent that video will speak to, a deep British English, an American voice, and what you need, a voice of a lady, a voice of a man, a young guy, whatever, a kid, whatever the thing that you need to do, AI can actually make a video for you. By the way, for information, have you ever been on YouTube and then you search, there are these YouTube channels whereby you never see the people who own those channels, but they usually show a very nice, good picture, maybe motivating you, motivation, or whatever, those kind of things. That's actually, you can actually start a YouTube like that using AI. All right. So technology is an area that is actually taking up space at a very, very, very high rate. And what exactly is going on out there? See, what happening in the technology is that people are investing in areas of, like, say, what do you call, like the graphic design. People are investing in things like web designing. People are investing in areas like what do you call, development of the 3D printing. You can actually realize that people are solving some huge task using what we call the AI and what have you. All right, now what happens nowadays, we have a new field of finances called the quantum finances and what have you. Quite interesting, quite promising. Now the point is this: now how can you invest on the technology? Investing on the technology, you don't have to be necessarily maybe go back to class for the IT classes or computer science classes and what have you. Just have an online presence as far as the technology is concerned. Get yourself out there. For me, and I keep on saying this, probably one day you guys, you can attest to this. I'm looking forward to a time where it will come and people will actually be considering your personal social media account as your CV. I mean, for God's sake, what have you been doing out there? I would like to know what you do. For example, if you go to LinkedIn is an area where people go and share their professionalism, is where actually people interact with each other, and the purposes of, linking them each other. You get what I'm saying? See, now, get yourself an presence. No matter what you're selling this a pen, you're selling a clothing, you're selling food, you cook, you're a lawyer, you are a teacher, you are whoever you are. Let the world know who you are. Right now, if you're operating a business and does not have an online presence, I'm telling you, you're doomed to fail. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when that will actually happen, because we are facing a very tough, stiff competition as far as and that's why you see most of the people nowadays, they're actually paying what we call. And by the way, if you ask me right now, there is a very demanding course that we call it the digital marketing, whereby you can be able to instruct the companies on how, where they can actually advertise their company, where they can actually put out there the Google ads or whatever the ads, the Meta ads, and whatever the thing it is, so that they can actually, be able to make the presence out there and what have you. Technology, we can deduce a lot of things that you can delve into and be able to make some cash. Okay, and just like I said, you can get in the web development development, you can get into the video editing, you can get into things to do with and I know right now you're asking myself, or rather yourself, how exactly do I acquire those skills? You can go to some website like Udemy, whereby you can purchase a course, or maybe if you do not have the cash to purchase a course, you can decide to stick on YouTube and go choose a specific individual who can teach you something that you would like to know. If it's about video editing, go purchase that course. All right, it is not that expensive. Go purchase a course about things to do with how to produce mix and all those kind of things. Just get yourself an online presence, because the technology, on a very serious note, it is not waiting anybody, and you have to be there and you have to move with it, so that you can actually go ahead and develop yourself to the next level. And I'm saying this, if you're a business individual, please, please, please have an online presence. You can imagine this. Some of you guys who watch me each and every time, and by the way, I'm so delighted for coming back here to watch my videos. Because of the social media, that's why we can be able to come here and share all this information. So go ahead and do something about that as far as having an online presence is concerned. So technology, it's an area you're supposed to go out there and invest on if you want to make the future money. And for God's sake, if you can be able to code this AI thing, I'm telling you, just go ahead and do the thing. All right? Let's go to the next one. The next part of the next industry that where the money will actually come from, or the future millionaires will come from, is none other than the agri business, or should I say agriculture. Agriculture, this is obviously an area where money will be made in future. And actually people are making money right now. And there is this, especially if you come from Africa and you talk about agriculture, people usually have a negative attitude. Oh, it's reserved for the old people, reserved for the retirement people, those guys who work from the remote places, or should I call them the up countries and what have you. These guys feel like and believe that hey, I should be, in those urban areas. And I totally understand what you're saying, guys. Let me tell you one secret. No matter how advanced we advance on the technology, you can never download a burger. I mean, you cannot just go to a computer and make yourself a code of a burger and then you eat the burger. You cannot do that. You have to actually go there. You cannot separate the soil. You have to show on the garden. You have to do something as far as the growth of your food is concerned. And by the way, I don't know whether you know this. Do you know you need a farmer 3 times a day, and a doctor, especially when you're sick, is just when you're sick, but you needed a farmer each and every day, and every day. You need them 3 times a day, every day. Can you just imagine that? And you can get yourself into this. And on these agriculture kind of things, that we can as well deduce other areas that you can get yourself into. For example, ask yourself, what is the most consumed product on earth? Anybody? Come on. It is called corn, or in Kenya we call it maize. This is the most consumed corn, or rather the consumed. Okay, fine. I don't want you to roast me on the comment section. Arguably, corn is that product that is heavily grown all over the world. Corn or maize. Okay, be it either for human consumption, for animals. There's some countries that they use it for animals. I know Kenyans, if they hear that, they can be, hey, really? And in Kenya we use this corn to actually make ugali. If you come from Tanzania, you call it sima. If you come from the southern part of Africa, they call it what do we call it? The paps, in the likes of the nsima and all those kind of things. You can just how exactly. If you come from the eastern part of Africa, we have the fufu. Although they really don't use the corn, they use like, I don't know, it's cassava or something, or whatever it is. Okay, see, you can actually get into the corn business. You can actually get yourself into the poultry business. Okay, poultry farming. You can actually get yourself into things like the potato farming. You can also get yourself into what we call the tomatoes farming. You can also, by the way, in Kenya, if you're watching this from Kenya, we really have a high demand of onion. You can get yourself into the onion farming, okay? And guess what? Nowadays, we're actually farming in a technologically advanced way. I also saw some guys who were actually growing the vegetables, likes of the lettuce, the black nightshade, the pigweed. In Kenya, those are quite amazing, vegetables. The kales, the spinach, all those kind of things. And they are using a technology called hydroponics. I know this is quite popular among the growth of the products that are consumed by the animals, but you can as well use that method to actually grow the thing. And by the way, they have been showing people how you can actually grow your vegetables just at the balcony of your house. For those who have bought the apartment, you can get yourself a very nice way. And this is actually soilless growth or soilless farming. Soilless meaning that you don't need the soil and what. I mean, like, things are advancing and you're just out there clinging and saying, hey, agriculture is for the old people, I cannot get myself into the agriculture. Come on, don't do exactly that, because that is not the right thing to do. Okay, so you can get yourself into the agriculture, because we need food provided. And I always tell people, let's say you actually, sort of predestined in town, you live in towns and all those kind of things, just go to the up country. All right, go to the up country, get yourself a piece of land. You don't have to buy it. In Kenya, we actually have the things called leasing. You can lease a piece of land and then get yourself to in the farming, and then you can pick it up from there and grow yourself to the next level, because this is exactly where, and I'll have to view it from the point of agri business. There's something called agribusiness. This is agriculture, yes, and is actually intertwined with the business perspective. That is it. For example, in Kenya, we are still under the food security thing and what have you. So if you can pick this industry or this particular of these areas and do something as far as the investment is concerned. Also, there's the other areas that are picking up, like the honey. Should I call it honey keeping or beekeeping? Let's say beekeeping for the purposes of honey, propolis. We have other things like jelly, jolly, or whatever the things. We have a lot of products that you can actually get from the beekeeping and what have you. Maybe you bought yourself a piece of land somewhere and just lying idle. Go consult the professionals, get yourself the beekeeping process, and then you can be getting the authentic honey. And of course, you can imagine how much you'd be fetching out of your authentic honey. Come on, go ahead and do something. Let's go to the last one. The last one is none other than getting yourself into the industry of beauty. This is that industry that, do you know why? Because most of the people nowadays are selfish. Yeah, that's why you even have the selfie. That's why you have the beauty products. That's why you have the, nowadays they're making phones with a very nice camera, because they know you guys, you love, taking those nice pictures. And there is nothing wrong with that. So the beauty industry, and I'm telling you, back then, if you go back to say our parents' era or our parents' times, our great parents' time, you realize that beauty was so much so, sort of associated with our beautiful ladies. But nowadays, it's actually transitioning for all of the genders and what have you. So you realize that it's an area that is actually expanding at a very high rate. Okay, so even men are so becoming a bit conscious about the area. And when you say beauty, beauty goes hand in hand with fashion. The clothing, how you look, and presentability, makeup making, and all those kind of industries. The making of, beauty is, and beauty as well can as well go with what we call the luxury. So this beauty industry is an area that, on a very serious note, if you look at it from a point, by the way, did you know that this, what do you call them, the beauty product industries, they are one of the wealthiest industries that we have on earth, slightly below the one that manufactures the pharmaceutical products, the medicines that we use and such kind of things. Okay, not we use, yeah, the sick people, the sick situations people use. Okay, sometimes they say what you confess you possess. No, nah, it is what it is. Anyway, the point is, this is a things that you can actually get yourself into and try and be able to make a very good amount of money. So what did I talk about? I talk about technology. You can get yourself into agriculture. You can get yourself as well into the beauty. Those are the industry. Did I say like movement, like the what do you call them, the communication as well? They're quite essential and great. You can as well invest in those areas, and of course, some other areas, but for now I would say largely technology, agriculture, and the beauty. This is exactly where the future millionaires will actually come from, and that is it. And of course, this is Good Joseph, and I talk about investments, money, and anything related to exactly that. And you're always welcome to call me if you need my services in any way. My number is always on the description of this specific video. Go ahead and grab it, shoot me a call. Let's have a discussion. Nice and goodbye, and see you in the next one.